Long ago, you might be concerned about your car being stolen. Today, you are much more likely to be a victim of bailiffs illegally taking cars. If you report your car stolen to the police, they say it is a civil matter. And, even if you are not a debtor, it can cost you thousands in legal fees to recover your car through the courts. In this video, we explain what simple steps you can legally take to protect your car from bailiffs. Until recently, bailiffs instructed to recover unpaid debts would knock the door and seize the debtor's goods. Then, they would sell the debtor's goods to pay the money they owe. This was at a time when domestic furniture and belongings had a value. Today, it is almost impossible to recover a debt by selling old furniture. So, bailiffs look for another way. They target the debtor's car. It is outside the property, easy to remove, and just as easy to sell. However, bailiffs have taken this to a whole new level. Several bailiff companies lease vans with distinctive roof-mounted cameras. They are number plate recognition cameras. Vans are usually unmarked and white, or they are given markings purporting to be the property of a government agency, like this one. Bailiffs go round housing estates at night or under cover of darkness and look for cars that have an unpaid traffic contravention debt. When they find a number plate, they will return, just before 6 in the morning, and clamp the car. In this early morning closed-circuit television recording, the bailiff was caught clamping a car after he drove past the property under cover of darkness, just a few hours earlier. Bailiffs then make a demand for money from the driver, regardless whether they are the debtor. The bailiff is only out to make a profit. Here are the ways you can legally protect your car from bailiffs. It doesn't matter if you are expecting bailiffs, but to give you extra peace of mind, the following steps may be taken. Park your car on a neighbor's driveway. It really does not matter if the bailiffs can see it there. It is on land that is not where the debtor lives or carries on a trade or business. The law is Paragraph 14.6 of Schedule 12 of the Tribunals, Courts and Enforcement Act 2007, which states,
an enforcement agent may enter relevant premises to search for and take control of goods. Premises are relevant if the enforcement agent reasonably believes that they are the place, or one of the places, where the debtor usually lives, or carries on a trade or business.
Therefore, your neighbor's driveway is not relevant premises for the purpose of the enforcement power, and cannot clamp or remove your car from there. If a bailiff wants to take control of the debtor's goods on land that is legally out of his reach, then he must apply for that enforcement power separately. Paragraph 15 of Schedule 12 of the Tribunals, Courts and Enforcement Act 2007 states,
if an enforcement agent applies to the court, it may issue a warrant authorizing him to enter specified premises, to search for and take control of goods.
If the bailiffs fails to apply for this separate enforcement power, then it is called a breach of the enforcement provisions. The debtor may sue for damages and recover costs by making an application to court under Civil Procedure Rule 84.13. This rule applies to any private land. It can even be a supermarket car park, or any private land, so long as it is not a highway or any land in public ownership. Keep your car in a locked garage. If bailiffs are looking for your car, then they are most likely trying to recover an unpaid traffic contravention debt. A traffic contravention debt is usually a parking ticket or a minor traffic infraction. Bailiffs are forbidden by law from breaking entry to any domestic premises, including homes and garages, for the recovery of traffic contravention debts. The law is Paragraph 18 of Schedule 12 of the Tribunals, Courts and Enforcement Act 2007, which says,
the enforcement agent has power to enter the premises under Paragraph 14 or 16, or under warrant under Paragraph 15. The sum so payable is not a traffic contravention debt.
That means, bailiffs cannot enter, using reasonable force, to collect a traffic contravention debt. Keep a disabled blue badge displayed inside your car. The disabled badge does not need to be yours. The car does not need to be owned by the disabled person. A disabled blue badge can be used when the car is used to transport a disabled person. The car becomes exempt from enforcement, and bailiffs cannot touch it. The law is Regulation 41D of the Taking Control of Goods Regulations 2013, which says,
"No vehicle, on which a valid disabled person's badge is displayed, because it is used for, or in relation to which there are reasonable grounds, for believing that it is used for, the carriage of, a disabled person."
The disabled badge must be displayed inside the car, before the bailiff takes control of it. Buy your car, on hire purchase. Bailiffs can only take control of goods, only if they belong to the debtor. If your car is on hire purchase, you do not own the car, at least, not until the option to purchase the car has been exercised. Bailiffs company wriggle on this, by saying they can clamp cars on hire purchase but not remove them. The issue of a hire purchase car in respect of paragraph 10, of Schedule 12, of the Tribunals, Courts and Enforcement Act 2007 was considered expressly in an appeal by the judge sitting at Central London County Court on the 7th of April 2017, found that a debtor has no beneficial interest in a hire purchase car. The solicitor, representing the bailiff company, tried to persuade the judge that the enforcement agent should be able to discharge to the finance company the amount outstanding on the finance agreement, by selling the vehicle and paying the finance company out of the proceeds, and with the balance remunerating themselves and the creditor, by apportioning the proceeds according to Regulation 13, of the Taking Control of Goods, Fees, Regulations, 2014, and then, paying any remainder monies to the debtor. This argument was defeated. The court then heard,
"It has been well-established law, for more than a century, that in hire purchase agreements, the interest of the hirer in the property is limited to the right of possession, pursuant to the terms and conditions of the agreement. The hirer gains no proprietary right in the property, until the exercise of an option to purchase property and the goods remains solely with the owner."
This also applies if you lease your car, or buy it, on a personal contract purchase agreement. Form a limited company, and it buys the car. This only works if the debtor has never owned the car. Otherwise, the bailiff company will accuse you of trying to dispose of your assets. Forming a limited company is cheap and simple. It can be done online. You must open a bank account in the limited company's name, which can also be done online. The limited company buys the car, and it then owns it. The vehicle registration can be in the debtor's name, because that is not proof of ownership. Being a registered keeper with the DVLA only means that person is responsible for its use on the road. If you get a traffic contravention debt, the warrant of control is always in the name of the registered keeper, who is not the owner of the car. Bailiffs cannot clamp the car, because it is not goods belonging to the debtor. So, by clamping the car, the bailiff is acting in breach of paragraph 10, of Schedule 12, of the Tribunals, Courts and Enforcement Act 2007, which says,
"An enforcement agent may take control of goods only if they are goods of the debtor."
A director of a company is a separate legal entity than the company itself. If the bailiff clamps the car owned by the limited company, a director for the limited company can make a third-party claim to controlled goods under Civil Procedure Rule 85.4, and recover damages together with costs. A word of caution. If the warrant of control has already been issued for a contravention debt, it is too late to sell the car. The law says that all the debtor's goods become bound under the enforcement power. That means, if the debtor sells or disposes of his goods, the sale will be disregarded and the goods will be counted as still being owned by the debtor. Register your car in Scotland. If your bailiff is recovering an unpaid traffic contravention debt, the authority must apply for a warrant of control before instructing bailiffs. To apply for the warrant of control, the application is made to the county court in Northampton. It is called the Traffic Enforcement Centre. However, the Traffic Enforcement Centre is a county court for England and Wales. Its jurisdiction does not reach Scotland, so is it not possible to send bailiffs from England or Wales, with a county court warrant, to take control of goods at an address in Scotland. In any case, bailiffs may only exercise their enforcement powers in England and Wales. Section 147, sub-paragraph 2, of the Tribunals, Courts and Enforcement Act 2007, says,
"The other provisions of this Act extend only to England and Wales."
Your vehicle is exempt from enforcement. If you use your car or vehicle in your trade, profession, or education, and its value is under £1,350, then it is exempt from enforcement. Bailiffs may not take control of the debtor's goods that are exempt. The law is Regulation 41D of the Taking Control of Goods Regulations 2013, which says,
items or equipment, for example, tools, books, telephones, computer equipment and vehicles, which are necessary for use personally, by the debtor, in the debtor's employment, business, trade, profession, study or education, except that in any case, the aggregate value of the items or equipment to which this exemption is applied, shall not exceed £1,350.
If bailiff take control of exempt goods, the debtor may make a claim to exempt goods by making an application under Civil Procedure Rule 85.4. If the bailiff refuses your claim to exempt goods, and you wish to maintain your claim, then make an application to the court. Your solicitor will prepare your hearing bundle and present your case to the judge. If the court finds that your goods are exempt, the bailiff will be ordered to return control of your goods, and you may recover damages and costs. Damages include loss of earnings for as long as you have been illegally deprived the use of the vehicle. And that can run into many thousands of pounds, even if the vehicle itself is only worth less than a few £100s. Your vehicle is also your home. Any vehicle, whether a car, caravan or a motorhome, which is somebody's home, then it is exempt goods. The law is Regulation 5 of the Taking Control of Goods Regulations 2013, which says,
where any goods of the debtor are also premises, and are occupied by the debtor or another person, as the debtor's or that person's only or principal home, those goods are exempt goods.
If bailiffs take control of goods that are somebody's principal home, then the homeless person may sue for damages, including the cost of being rehoused at the bailiff expense. This type of claim should be made against the creditor, who the bailiff is acting for. Otherwise, if you litigate a bailiff company, they will hire solicitors to frustrate your claim. The authority of the council that instructs the bailiffs require a public liability insurance policy to be lodged before working as enforcement agents on its behalf. So, the taxpayer's interests are well protected. And it's much easier for solicitors bringing an action for enforcement impropriety on behalf of a debtor to negotiate with the authority or council, because they can simply pay out the claim and draw the money from the bailiff's liability insurance company. Re-register your vehicle with a private number plate. Bailiffs identify vehicles by crawling the street and neighborhoods using number plate recognition cameras. If you have got a lot of unpaid traffic debts, then the bailiff will target your vehicle. You might be best to get a cherished number plate from the DVLA and register it to your car. Bailiffs enforcing unpaid traffic debts have a warrant of control, which gives the vehicle's registration number that was involved in the traffic contravention. Bailiffs using number plate recognition cameras do not have access to a vehicle's registration history. They can only see the number plate attached to the vehicle and not any previous number plates. We hope you have learned something new today. If you have been a victim of illegal bailiff action, then we offer a helpline. Dealing with bailiffs. We can examine your case, give you the legal position, and provide you with a list of remedies, and explain what actions are available to you to recover goods, or claim damages for enforcement impropriety. We specialize in putting right illegal bailiff action, and have a team of solicitors experienced in bailiff regulation breaches as well as bringing action against police for abuse of power and unlawful arrest and imprisonment. Until then, if in doubt, keep him out.